So I want you to introduce yourself if you want.
Yeah, sure. My name is Gede Parta Kinandana. I'm a physiotherapist who comes far away from Indonesia and specifically in an island called Bali.
Did you want to become a physiotherapist?
Because I was an athlete back when I was in the high school, and then I experienced severe ankle injury, and since back then I went to the physio several times, especially every time before the competitions, just to make sure that I'm prepared with the competitions. And since then I was interested to become a physiotherapist.
How many years of study does it take to become a physiotherapist in Indonesia?
To be honest, there are several ways to become the physiotherapist. We divide it into two pathways, like the diploma pathway and professional level pathway. For the diploma pathway, it needs around 3 years, and the professional pathway needs around 5.5 years. So 4 years for a bachelor level, and then another 1.5 years for the professional level.
Is there a specialization system? If so, the specialization is done during the initial formation or after the graduation?
There's specializations, but we haven't had the formal educations to provide physios to continue their study to become a specializations. But there are several postgraduate courses that provides you with a specific expertise to support you to become a specializations. And also under the Indonesian Physiotherapy Association, there are several subgroups, such as groups for Indonesian Association of the Sports Physiotherapy, orthopedic physiotherapy or something like that, which will help you to provide you with several several postgraduate courses for you to improve your clinical expertise. Probably in the futures, we can have a formal educational providers for to achieve the specializations program.
And are you specialized in one field?
Currently, I'm not a specialist, but I'm a certified in orthopedic manual physiotherapy, and I'm working mostly in the orthopedic field, especially for the manual therapy, and also I'm working mostly in the spinal problem. And also I'm the part of the ILOPT, so Indonesian League of Orthopedic Musculoskeletal Physiotherapy.
Do you have to keep up to date with the new recommendation and training once you graduate, and precisely to specialize or improve your practice?
Yes, actually in Indonesia, there's a point called as a SKP, so those points need to be required and need to be fulfilled. There's several minimum points that need to be fulfilled in order for you to continue your registration letter as a physiotherapy. And the way how you fulfill these points is by attending some kind of conferences, attending some kind of specific courses, seminars, workshop, and several academic process. So for sure, there's always the physios are needed to be attending several trainings even after they are becoming a physio.
And it's obligated?
For sure, because if you don't fulfill this minimum required point, then your registration letter will be taken off. Then you can't become a physiotherapist.
What do you like about being a physiotherapist?
This is a very nice question, because I think physiotherapy is one of the healthcare provider who interact mostly with the patients. I like to see, I like how we interact with the patients. I like how we giving them opportunities to be able to do their functional activity. And I just like how they improve, let's say from when they are not able to do something to become able to do anything. That's just beautiful to see how they progress.
Why did you choose to teach?
Teaching is the easiest way to recall something without reading a book. Because by teaching, you're just using your brain to recall everything that you've learned, and also to be honest, when I was a physio student, I love to share to my friend, and it's just built my aim to become a teacher someday. So yeah, that's why I like teaching, and also sharing to other people is really important for me.
How is Indonesia healthcare system organized?
Yeah, I think it's quite well. People are paying some amount of money, some amount of retributions to pay for the healthcare insurance that they probably can claim if they're having some problem. The problem is there's a different level, and it also affect what kind of services that you get in the hospital.
Okay.
But the thing is that for the physio, we cannot really claim the insurance. Because if you want to claim the insurance for the physio session or physio treatment, you need to get the authorizations from the rehab doctors.
Okay.
But yeah, for the private clinic, I mean, normally we can't claim the insurance, so people need to pay their own money to be able to get the physio sessions in the private sector.
Okay. Physiotherapists in Indonesia work more in public facilities or private practice?
I would say it's almost level, probably like 60%. If I'm not wrong, it's about 60% physios working in the private sectors or opening their own clinic, and probably 40% working in the hospital, in the public sectors. But I think physiotherapists in Indonesia really like to work because most of them are working in both sectors, probably working in the hospital in the morning and having their own clinic in the night.
Okay. What is the average salary for a physiotherapist in Indonesia?
To be honest, it depends on the where they are working, and also on a different island, because Indonesia is like an island, a lot of islands there. But if I make in average, it's probably around 10 million rupiah. So it's probably equivalent to about 500 or 550 or something in euros per month. And then with the lowest one, it's going to be around 5 million rupiahs, or probably like 250 or 260 euros per month, with the highest one reaching about 50 million rupiah per month, or probably around like 2,500 euros per month.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, it depends on the island.
And finally, is the French diploma recognized in Indonesia? And if not, how can we work there?
Currently, no, because there are several regulations, especially about healthcare provider who are working in Indonesia. And there's a lot of documents and paperwork that you need to be fulfilled to see to recognize the equivalence of the competitions level. But yeah, I hope in the futures we are looking forward for the French people to be able to also work in Indonesia, because nowadays I think there's kind of international hospitals are built in several places in Indonesia, such as in my island. There's also gonna be a lot of healthcare provider who comes from every part of the world who will be joining in the healthcare provider teams in the hospital.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.